It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. A line, no doubtly, you've heard at one time or another, as it comes from Charles Dickens' great novel, A Tale of Two Cities. And even though that statement is almost 200 years old, for Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau, on the same day, it applies equally. What am I talking about? Hang on, folks. I'm going to explain it to you here in just 1 second. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your front porch conservative. Step on up to my electronic front porch and let's talk. Hi, folks. I could really use your help with something, so I'm going to go ahead and ask right now. I have been a content creator now for a little over 2 years, and I'm coming up on the anniversary of my channel. I've been working really hard to get my YouTube channel over 1,000. So would you please consider doing me a favor? If you are not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe right now. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe on Rumble as well. I have a channel over there. Also, please consider hitting the thumbs up button, leaving a comment in chat, share the link around, and do all those things that you guys are great at doing when it comes to helping a channel grow. I'm a going little concern. Before it's all said and done, I'd like to be a going big concern, but I can't do that unless I've got your help. And with that, on to the video. Today is January the 6th, a date that, depending on who you talk to, is always argued about in terms of what it really means. For Democrats, they take a very dark view of the day. Republicans and conservatives take an even darker view, albeit for different reasons. However, it is January the 6th, 2025, and for Donald Trump, this is a day that is the culmination of one of the greatest political comebacks in American history. For on this date, a joint session of Congress certified him as the winner of the Electoral College from the 2024 election. And with that, we will start with thehill.com. Headline: Congress formally certifies Trump's election win. Article by Al Weaver and Brett Samuels of thehill.com. We have the following. Dateline, Washington, D.C. Congress on Monday certified President-elect Trump's electoral victory, officially cementing his win over Vice President Harris ahead of his inauguration with no objections from any lawmakers as the tally of the states was read on the House floor. Trump captured the presidency with 312 electoral votes to Harris's 226, a total that was confirmed during the certification on Monday, marking the final step in the election process before Trump formally takes back the White House on January 20. Republicans gave a standing ovation in the chamber when Harris announced Trump's victory was now certified. A bipartisan standing ovation broke out in the House chamber after Harris declared the joint session of Congress dissolved. The event lasted about 30 minutes before Harris gavelled it out. And we do have a clip from that day, and then I'll make some comments thereafter. So with that, here is a brief look at Kamala Harris's announcement of Trump's victory on this day, January 6, 2025.
70. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
As I said, ladies and gentlemen, for Donald Trump, this is the culmination of one of the greatest comebacks in American political history. Against all odds, in the face of a disgrace that he had to endure 4 years earlier, watching a man in Joe Biden be sworn into an office that he felt like he had legitimately won in the election, Trump went into exile. But that doesn't mean Trump wasn't planning and moving and making moves. And before it was all said and done, not only did he best Joe Biden on the debate stage, he bested Kamala Harris on the electoral stage. And today was the final certification thereof. A very quiet ceremony, all things considered, but if you stop and think about it, that more or less has to do with some of the changes that Congress made in the Electoral Count Act of 2022. Harris's role was largely ceremonial, and all the threats from Representative Jamie Raskin, Democrat from Maryland, went, oh, shall we say, quietly into the night, as the decision was made not to challenge one single solitary electoral vote. It is now official. Donald Trump is the winner of the 2024 election by certification of the Electoral College. In 12 days, 14 days, he will take the oath of office on January 20th. That is the best of times. For Justin Trudeau, on the other hand, today is the worst of times, as news came out of Canada, not unexpected, but somewhat surprising in its timing. The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, has announced his resignation as the leader of the Canadian government. We go to the pages of Politico.com. Headline: Justin Trudeau to resign, the latest global leader to fall. The announcement adds chaos to uncertainty in Ottawa ahead of Donald Trump's return to the White House. Article written by Nick Taylor Vasey, Mickey Jurek, and Mike Blanchfield. We have the following. Dateline Ottawa. Canada's Justin Trudeau's era is coming to an end. The three-term Prime Minister announced Monday that he plans to step down as Prime Minister and as party leader once the Liberals choose his successor. Trudeau told Canadians in a televised address that although he prides himself on being a fighter, he will step aside because of the divisiveness and polarization around his leadership, including inside his own caucus. Now, we have a clip from Trudeau making his announcement, and I'll go ahead and pop it up there and let you have a little bit of a flavor of what the announcement was like. Very solemn, very simple, out in front of his own house. And with that, take a listen as Trudeau announces his plans to resign from office and set in motion a question about new leadership in Canada.
Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
Now, in the end, what took down Trudeau? Well, you could make an argument it was a lot of different things. Primarily, interest rates in Canada being high, inflation being high, and the feeling from the Canadians that Justin Trudeau is simply out of touch. So what happens next? Well, what will happen is already begun, and that's this. I take you to the pages of CNN. Justin Trudeau has announced that the country's parliament will be suspended until March 24th while a new leader is chosen. Quote, Parliament has been paralyzed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history, he said. This morning I advised the Governor General that we need a new session of Parliament. She has granted this request, and the House will be prorogued until March the 24th. Now, a little bit of question about timing. For the Canadians, they normally present their budget in or around the month of April. When that happens, that is going to be the opportunity for the minority party, in this case the Conservatives, to request a vote of no confidence and force the election. And if you don't believe me, check this out from our friends over at thehill.com. The Canadian government is expected to propose its new budget by April, a process that would allow opposition parties to trigger a vote of no confidence, collapse the government, and head to the elections. The high cost of living, Trump's tariff threats, and criticism from the U.S. and others that Canada might not meet NATO's 2% defense spending guidelines by 2032 are some of the headaches its next leaders will need to contend with. The vast majority of Canadians, or 86%, are concerned about Trump's threats, according to data from the nonprofit Angus Reid Institute in Canada. Half of Canadians say they would prefer a hardline approach. That is, even if the tariffs are ultimately implemented, they do not feel Canada should let itself be bullied. Okay, that's a fair understanding and a completely true statement. So where does it go from here for the Canadians? No idea yet. Many people believe that the conservative minority right now, led by Pierre Poilievre, or as we lovingly call him here on the front porch, Polly want to be a prime minister? Polly, the prime minister, may wind up being Canada's next leader, but yet to be determined. So as I say, it's the best of times and the worst of times. Trump is ascendant. Trudeau is leaving the world stage. I don't think he's going to be totally gone, but I don't think we're going to see much from him anymore. And with that, that's my update for the day. And I thank you for stopping by my little channel. And as you leave, do me some favors. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Number 2, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment. It helps. Believe me, it really does help. That funny little fellow, Mr. Algorithm, genuinely likes it when you do that sort of thing. Also, share the link around with your friends. I'll take all the advertising help I can get. My name is Brian Trippett, and I am the Front Porch Conservative, and I will see you next time.